Secretary Clinton is lining up staff and support, including many members of President Obama's team. Our latest poll shows she's the overwhelming choice of Democrats. Is there any chance you're going to challenge her?
Yes, there's a chance. But I haven't made my mind up about that. We got a lot of work to do between now and then. There's plenty of time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is Eleanor Clift, columnist at the Daily Beast and, of course, panelist at the McLaughlin Group. Eleanor, good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Sure, glad to be with you.
All right, so let's talk about this. You wrote a piece. Are you ready for President Biden? Do you think that there's a realistic chance that he actually will throw his hat in the ring?
I think there's a chance he will throw his hat in the ring. I don't know that I would call it a realistic chance, but I started poking around into this draft Biden 16 effort. It's essentially, it's two young guys who did field work and advanced work for the Obama campaigns in 08 and 12, and they've put together a pretty nifty website, and they're selling bumper stickers and coffee cups and so forth with a really cool logo of the vice president with his aviator sunglasses in his Corvette, and it's in these psychedelic colors, and it says riding with Biden. And then when I made some calls into Iowa, I realized that running for president is a commercial enterprise, and the Democrats in Iowa are looking over at the Republicans. They had a fundraiser last weekend, and there were 11 contenders. That earns money for the state. It builds the party. It builds excitement, and Democrats are worried that a campaign that looks like the only viable one on the Democratic side is not going to generate enough enthusiasm. And Joe Biden, he's run twice before in 88, I think it was, and in 2008. And he loves politicking. He's made a lot of friends. He connects instantly and automatically with just about everyone. And so I think you see Democrats worried that Hillary Clinton doesn't do that as well.
Right.
And they just like to get good old Joe in there to, liven up the place.
Didn't good old Joe have to recuse himself from one presidential race when he was found to be plagiarizing? And didn't good old Joe say that Barack Obama was the first clean, articulate black man ever to run for president, and said that education in Iowa is better than in D.C. because you have less minorities, and then make those ridiculous 7-Eleven remarks all within the span of a few weeks in 2008?
I'm not saying he's without baggage at all, but then name me a candidate who comes with no baggage. And so, we're talking about the Democrats nervous that they're going to have a primary season without true competition. They want to have some debates. The Democrats are amazingly unified. It's not like they don't like Hillary. They just want to have some, a plan B, some backup equipment, just in case.
Well,
in the end, they're all going to back Hillary Clinton, and she certainly looks like the likely Democratic nominee.
Well, what did you think of her performance yesterday? Well, what did you think of her not taking questions for almost, a month?
I think for a candidate who's got as high a profile as she does, that she doesn't need to be out there answering questions every day or even every month. There's still a long way to go until November of 16, until the Iowa caucus in January. She'll be sparring more as we get closer to the dates.
What about the revelation that she used 2 email accounts? The revelation that Sid Blumenthal, after Sid Blumenthal was denied a position in the State Department by the Obama administration, she was communicating with him on Libya and other issues anyway as Secretary of State. I mean, every day we find out more and more and more. And you talk about baggage. Any other?
This is journalism. We're having a good time here. There's lots to uncover.
There's what to uncover? Less to uncover?
Sure.
Well, what do you mean?
Lots of stories on both sides of the aisle. This is what politics is about.
You think a Republican who did what Hillary has done would still be mentioned as a possible presidential candidate?
I will leave that to the voters to decide.
No, but I'm asking you as a journalist.
I'm not cooperating with you as a journalist.
You won't answer me if there's a double standard?
No, I don't answer questions. I'm in the Hillary tradition.
Well, but that's not right. You're on here to talk to me. You won't answer a question about it?
I've answered plenty of your questions.
Well, we started talking about Joe Biden. I talked about your piece. Then I asked you about his baggage, and then I just really asked you about the double standard. I mean, I just, Makaka
I think there are lots of double standards. You can take things that have been done on the Republican side and say, ooh, if a Democrat did that, would they be viable? We can play that game.
All right, so you won't answer whether or not a Republican who did what Hillary did would still have a political career?
I'm not going to answer that, and I think what Hillary did, there's no proven wrongdoing for starters.
I know, no evidence, but when you wipe the server clean, Eleanor, when you wipe the server clean,
imaginary dots in your mind.
when you wipe the server clean, there's no evidence. I thank you, though, Eleanor. Thank you, Eleanor Clift. We're coming back with Roger Simon, folks. Don't go away.